Good morning. I glazed this window yesterday and painted the final layer over it. I'm trying to hang it up now so I can paint the other side, and then it just needs drying so it can go back on the window soon. I only have about half a sack of firewood left to stack in the woodshed. As I am going through it, I'm checking if there are any pieces that are still too large. If I find any, I'll run them through the wood splitter. I actually processed all of this firewood back in March and April using nothing but a splitting axe. I remember there were a few stubborn logs that I simply couldn't split any smaller by hand, so those are finally getting done now. It looks like the woodshed has just enough room for this last batch, which is a relief. It's been a long journey with this firewood this year. To put it into perspective, my woodshed has a capacity of around 14 cubic meters, and I'll have roughly 11 cubic meters of stacked firewood in it once I'm finished. Every single log had to be cut to length, split and stacked by hand. The job also took much longer because I first had to sort through the pile and remove around 5 cubic meters of pine and birch before I could even start processing the wood. These are too big, I need to split them one more time. And these little ones, I decided that I'm going to split them for kindling. So yeah, but I'm gonna start with these first. They will go in the house. I still have space on there. In that cupboard in the hall. Thankfully, this should be a much less labor-intensive job in the future. For now, I plan to keep buying my firewood while I focus on restoring the house. And later on, once everything is in better shape, I'd love to learn how to fell trees safely and process my own firewood from start to finish. Yesterday I painted the frame for the third time, and today it's just dry enough, and I was thinking to put the trim up inside. I still need to wait a few days before I can get the windows in. By the end of the week this window is finished and it's all in its place, because I'm gonna go away in July for 2 weeks and for a week or so, and that's why I think I must finish this window before that. This is perfectly level as it is. Oh, I didn't cut this piece. You need to cut this. Okay, I cut it. It's still supposed to be long. I'm gonna cut again. I cut it again. Okay, it fits. So this piece of wood is the original, and I changed these on the side, and I couldn't find the exact same. I don't know when that was put in, 50, 60, whatever years ago, and so it didn't match what it's already been cut in the wood. So now I fill this with putty, and I'm just gonna paint it over, so blend it in a little bit better than, or this is wood that I hand cutted back in England a few years ago. At the time I had a completely different project in mind for it, but that never came to life. Now I have found the perfect use for it. I'll be using it to fill the gap between the window frame and the house, where it will help keep out the cold drafts while still allowing the old timber to breathe. On the kitchen windows, I found the original wool insulation still in place, and it was in surprisingly good condition, so I decided to leave it untouched. This window, however, didn't have any wool at all, so it makes me wonder what I'll find when I restore the remaining windows. So lovely. I'm just gonna wash it a little bit. I washed it. Oh my gosh. Mm. This is really good. Very juicy. But it rained a lot over it, so I'm not surprised. Very sweet. This window is almost done. One more thing I need to put in here, that little hook, so this latch can go on it. There wasn't anything here. Or maybe there was a an old nail and it was bent. But I want to use these hooks, so I don't want to have nails in there. So I think that's one of the last thing to do. And then I'm gonna wait another day or maybe two, and then I can have the window in. Yes, and then the third window is done on the house, and 3 more to go. 2 on the room, and there's 1 more under the stairs. And then later on there will be the porch, and I don't know if I can get to that this year or I have to move it forward to next year. I don't know yet. We'll see. But I feel good that half of it is done now. Installing the window sash is quite a lengthy process. The first step is applying linseed oil putty around the window frame, and that alone takes time. The putty has to be worked by hand until it becomes smooth and easy to shape. Sometimes it's a little dry, sometimes it's more oily, so you almost have to knead it like modeling clay before it's ready to use. Once the putty is in place, the sash can be fitted. I used clamps to hold it securely while I screwed it into position. I chose A4 stainless steel screws so they won't rust over time. On the opposite side I couldn't use screws because there wasn't enough room, so I secured the sash with a small wooden wedge instead. After that I filled the remaining gaps with more linseed oil putty. Everything you see here, which only takes a few minutes on camera, actually took a couple of hours to complete. Once the putty was in place, I painted over it straight away to help protect it from birds, which are known to peck at fresh linseed oil putty. Then I moved inside. I removed the excess putty, smoothed the joints with my finger, cleaned the frame with wet wipes, and finally painted over the inside as well. This is a fixed window, so it doesn't open. Most of the windows in this house were built this way, with only 1 sash in each window designed to open. In reality, that's more than enough for ventilation. This is a wool draught seal that I use to stop cold air from coming in. And the birds are not happy with me being here. They're constantly telling me off. And if I get too close to their nest, they even charge at me. Restoring a window feels like a 100-step process. Even after the major work is finished, there are still plenty of smaller jobs left to do. Fitting the latches, installing the frame, and finally adding the blinds and curtains. It's only then that the window truly comes back to life. Here's a look at the transformation from before to after. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be away next week, so there won't be a new video next Sunday. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!